Hello chess fans, this is Rick from Chess to Impress with a video on amateur against master. I've just finished a series on Bobby Fischer's perfect tournament when he scored 11 out of 11 in the 1963-64 US Championships. So I thought what to do next. I have a number of series going and I could of course do another video in one of those series, but I decided on something else. I looked at my chess library, you can see it there on the left hand side of the screen, a few hundred chess books, not even that many, and I decided just to take a random book, leaf through it till I found something that I found interesting and that I thought would be interesting for you to see. I picked out this book at random. It's a book from Grandmaster Hans Rey and it's called In den eersten stootpad. In Dutch that means Stalemate on the first move. That's quite an interesting title, and I found a very interesting game of an amateur playing against a master. It was played in a simultaneous display in the Netherlands in 1978. Simultaneous displays are always quite interesting. A very strong player walking around playing against a number of amateurs. It was a whole series of simultaneous displays organized and sponsored by a bank. And in this case, it was the Dutch international master Gert Lichterink who gave a simultaneous display. And he had the white pieces, as is common in its simultaneous displays, and his opponent is Nomenescio. We don't know his name. We call him NN. But we know the moves of the game, and it was quite an interesting game, which I'm going to show you now. The master opened with e4, and the amateurs played the Sicilian. Knight f3, d6, d4, take, take, knight f6, knight c3, and black plays g6. Very bravely he plays the dragon variation of the Sicilian against the master. Bishop e3, bishop g7, both players follow theory. f3, black castled, queen d2, knight c6, and here bishop c4 is the main move. And the other main move was played by international master Lichterink in his game, and that is castling queenside. In this position, d6, d5 is the move according to the database, and as always the amateur's opening knowledge of a specific line runs out earlier than the master's knowledge, because black played a6 here, and that is a very rare continuation. h4, white is going to attack on the king side. Knight h5 and g4, kicking that knight. Did black already make a mistake? Well, not really, because there's knight g3, attacking the rook in the corner, rook h3 and knight takes f1. A very unusual way to swap a piece, but it's not that bad for black. Quite imaginative play by the amateur. Lichterink took back, knight e5 and h5 going forward on the king side. Knight c4, a typical maneuver in the dragon, getting pieces off the board to slow down white's attack. Queen e2, that's counter-attacking the knight on c4, so black doesn't have time to play queen b6, the double attack on b2 and on d4. Black doesn't have time for that because his knight is hanging on c4. So black took on e3, queen takes, and now queen b6. And the knight on d4 is attacked twice and only defended once. So Lichterink played rook d1, and now bishop e6 is the best move here, as indicated by the engine. But black played a bad one. He played e5, attacking the knight again. And here white reacted very well. He played knight d5, not worrying about the attack knight on d4, but counter-attacking the queen and infiltrating with the knight on that nice d5 square. E takes d4 was played by black. Did white overlook this? Because this is counter-attacking white's queen while taking a piece. No, white did not overlook this, but now the game becomes very interesting. Here, international master Lichterink wanted to finish the game with a flashy queen sacrifice. He wanted to play knight e7 check, and it looks very strong. The king only has one square, and then he had planned h takes g6. And there's a checkmate threat with rook takes h7. So don't take the queen, because then this is checkmate. Very nice checkmate. And if after h takes g6 you do not take the queen but play h6, then there is Well, if you want to look for yourself, put the video on pause. How is there a checkmate in 2 moves here? Rook takes h6 check, because if you take it, the queen delivers a checkmate. Beautiful variations. But just in time before executing knight e7 check, Lichtling found the refutation, because after knight e7 check, king h8, h take g6, instead of taking the queen, there's the very nice move. Do you see it? Yes, queen takes b2 check. Not an easy move to find. What is the point? Well, if you take the queen, then you can take white's queen on e3, because this is check. The bishop gives check to the king. That was the point of that queen takes b2 check move. And because white is in check, he does not have time to play rook takes h7 checkmate. So the king has to play, and then there is h6. The mate has disappeared, and black is better here. He has an extra piece. So knight e7 check doesn't work. What if we take black's queen, knight takes b6, then d takes e3, knight takes a8, and f5, and black has compensation for the exchange. Lichtling didn't go for that either. After e takes d4, he did not play knight e7 check, he did not take the queen on b6, he played queen g5, bringing the queen closer to black's king. And what to do here for black? His queen is still hanging on b6, so let's look at a move like queen d8. That doesn't work, it is offering a trade of queens, but there is knight e7 check, and white wins. Let's look at a variation. King h8, h takes g6, and if you take that pawn, there is rook takes h7 check, king takes, there comes the other rook, bishop h6, and this is checkmate. Very nice variation. So queen d8 doesn't work. What about queen b5? We have to save our queen. It is a better defense than queen d8. But then there is the very nice move a2, a4. And what is the point of that? The point is to get the queen off the 5th rank. And that is important because if we, instead of a4, play knight e7 check instead, king h8, h takes g6, because we want to checkmate the black king like we saw in the previous variation, but then there is queen takes g5, and that move is check to the white king. So no time for checkmate with rook takes h7. That is the point of playing queen b5. As said, we want to get the queen off the 5th rank, so a4. The queen does not want to go off the 5th rank, so queen c5, and then we play b4, forcing the queen off the 5th rank. And after a move like queen c4, we see the checkmate again. Knight e7 check, king has to step aside, h takes g6, and there is no defense. For example, f takes, rook takes, king takes, the other rook comes into the attack, bishop h6, and queen takes checkmate. We saw that variation already. So what to do after queen g5? We looked at queen d8, we looked at queen b5, the queen is hanging on b6, and in the end black played f7, f6, counter-attacking white's queen. And here Lichtling played another beautiful move. He took on g6, and it turns out black cannot take white's queen, because after f takes g5 there is knight e7 check, king h8, and this checkmate is there again. So what to do after h takes c6? Black cannot take white's queen, his own queen is still hanging, and there is no good queen move. All moves lose. Let's look at one of them. Let's look at queen d8. Then there is g takes h7 check. If the king goes to f7, there is queen h5 check, king e6, and rook takes d4, given by the engine as the strongest move. White's compensation for the piece is overwhelming, with the black king in the middle of the board. Black is busted, there's no immediate checkmate, but the engine is on +8 for white. That king on e6 is very exposed, and most of black's pieces are on the back rank. So after g takes h7 check, king f7 doesn't work. What about king h8, putting the king in the corner? Well, then there is the very nice move knight f4. And the threat of knight g6 checkmate will cost black the queen. You cannot take white's queen because of knight g6 checkmate. And if instead of that you play queen e8 to protect the g6 square, then there is knight g6 check anyway. Queen takes, and white has won black's queen. It's not clear when exactly the amateur resigned, but this is a nice way to end the analysis. It was a very rich game for a simultaneous display. The amateur played well for a long time. The master almost made a mistake when he was trying to win the game in a very flashy way, but just on time realized that there was a leak in his combination. Then he found the right way to play, and the amateur drowned in the complications, and the master brought the point home. We saw some very nice variations. Hope you agree. A quick hello to my most recent subscribers: Ivan Kovalenko, Arjan Rushani, Venu Gopal, Darren Hendry, Pratik Pawar and Luke Hodak. Thank you very much for subscribing to the Chess to Impress YouTube channel. Hope you like my videos. And if you liked this video, I hope you will give it a thumbs up, that you subscribe to the Chess to Impress channel, and that you leave a comment. I will read them all and I will reply to them all. If you like the video, it would be great if you could share it on social media by clicking the share button on YouTube. You can find me on Instagram, on Twitter and on Facebook. This is Rick for Chess to Impress. Thank you for watching.